Hello, Stitch Roadie friends. Thank you for stopping by. I have been stitching. How about you? It is an overcast day, Pacific Northwest. We can't decide whether it's going to be summer or not. We're still in spring, but everything is blooming quite nicely, and I'm not complaining at all because I know some of you are not only heading into winter months, but also have had some horrific weather patterns going through the states. Mother Nature seems to be on a bit of a rant. Yeah, I hope you, if you are in those areas, that everything is safe, that your stitching is safe, and your people are safe. Yes. I did buy some geraniums today, though, because I can barely stand it. When I look across the street, you know, I'm sitting up here in a perch. One of my neighbors has the most amazing geranium pots. I don't know what she's feeding them, but they look awesome. So I bought myself some geraniums today. Before we get started on my this and that, and it's a little bit of this and a whole lot of that, I want to be sure to tell the winner of the adventure sampler and the silks that I used and were left over, and there is more than enough to finish it again. That winner is Louise Harrington. Thank you so much for not only leaving a comment, but also subscribing. Yes, I appreciate that very much. Because I know right now, so I will, Louise, be sure that you email the email address in the drop-down box and tell me your mailing address so I can send that to you. Let's see. I have been stitching, working on my book of days, and I still have a week of May left, and so that means new starts. I mean, I've met all of my goals. I've got all of my stars. I had I had 4 finishes this month, 2 starts, and 2 FFOs this month. I wish I had one of those clapping machines. Can I hear all of you clapping for me? And I still have a week left, so I decided a new start was in order. And the 2 new starts that I'm going to start this month are my friend Audrey from Stitchy Witch 42 did this Vulcan calligraphy, and it's LLAP. This translates to live long and prosper, and I'm doing this as an anniversary gift, so I gave it a good start. I'm using a Roxy Floss chalkboard, and this is on 28 count silver fox, so a nice little start. One has to reward oneself. You have to somehow reward yourself for all your hard work. The other new start I'm going to have this month is purely because of the Anita lamp. I know in a previous video I talked about the Anita lamp, which was from the Fat Quarter Shop. It is a daylight lamp. It's kind of like having a friend in the room because it has so many arms. So it not only has this, it's absolutely beautiful. It not only has this perfect light that shines down, it has a cell phone holder. It has a magnifier with 2 different strengths of magnifying. And it has a tray that holds what some of you said should be snacks, and I am all about the snacks. So I decided I'm going to put that Anita lamp through its paces. And how better to do that than with a 56 count? Yeah, you heard me. I had this project that I got from Mesa, Arizona, from you know where, and many of you, I'm not a big sampler person. I like them, just not a big, I like it all. That's the issue. I'm not one genre of cross stitch. It's like quilting. I kind of like it all. So I know that those of you that are sampler people kind of talk about samplers as if they're a relative, so you know their name. Yeah, not so much here, but I absolutely love this one. And it's Florence Law, 1899. Now see, I know some of you might know exactly which one that is without even seeing the picture. But for those of you who are like me, this is it right here. Isn't that adorable? So I have decided to do it on 56 count. And it's Cafe au Lait. What did I do with the thread? I did the thread someplace. Oh well. It was Avera Soie 1003. Yes, Avera Soie 1003. And oh, I feel it. I feel it in there. I put it inside the bag. And this is 56 count Cafe au Lait. So look at how pretty that is going to look. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah. Perfect. So this will definitely be putting my Anita lamp through the paces because 56 count, I'm going to need that magnifier and good lighting. Ooh, someone's doing their lawn or something out there. Yeah. So this has been sitting in the wishful pile, and yes, I've already done 56 count. If you're new to the channel, know that I already did a 56 count, so it's not like I'm a newbie. Crazy, yes. Newbie, no. So those are going to be 2 new starts because I have a whole week of May left, and I have met all of my criteria for May. One of the things I've been thinking a lot about is my designated stitch. So this current designated stitch is The Maker and the Mender by Brenda Gervais. Oh, excuse me, I dropped the picture. Let me get it. The Maker and the Mender. Just gorgeous, just gorgeous. Everybody has to figure out their own way of doing it. What works for your brain? What works for your personality? What works for your pattern of life? I'm looking at the lawnmower. Is today Friday? Oh, it might be. Let's see. Oh, yeah. It's my lawnmower. Yeah. Okay. So a little bit of noise, but that's okay. Where was I? Oh, designated stitch. I don't know how I came up with that, other than I needed a break. So not having to decide, other than choosing the designated stitch, but not having to decide what I want to stitch on every night has been totally relaxing, and I'm chill. Then I can just have to decide what I want to watch while I'm stitching. I stitch the same project every evening until I'm done, and then I move on to the next one. So this one was languishing in the whip pile. And oh, and for me, my designated stitch always has to be out of the whip pile. That's just this funny little rule I made for myself so that I couldn't just start anything willy-nilly. So I have been making great progress. I am now on the bottom half of this chart, and I suspect that by the end of this month I might be done, and I'll get to choose a new designated stitch. And here's the thing. I was thinking to myself that those trees that I did languished for years until I made them a designated stitch, and then suddenly they became like a best friend. Every evening I'd sit and watch TV and stitch on them. And that was all white thread, so it was a push. But somehow, knowing that I had to make no other decisions about what I felt like, it wasn't about me, actually. It was about the stitch. It worked and I got it done. So my thought process is that the next designated stitch, when this is done, which I hope by the end of this month it'll be done, and then June I'll get to pick a new one. Maybe I shouldn't use should, but I would like it to be a bigger one, a bigger whip. And when I was looking through my whip pile, I was going, okay, everybody, give me, it kind of like Survivor. At the end of Survivor, give me your best story. Tell me why I should pick you. And the two that kind of stood out for me was Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut or Christmas Quaker 2. They are both big projects, unlike the trees, which means that I could conceivably get a big project done before the end of the year. So I'm willing to listen to both of them and see which one is yelling the loudest, and then I'll let you know next time. Yeah, that's how we're rolling right now. Okay, so Louise, don't forget, send me your mailing address. This time of year, I know the other side of the world is moving toward winter, and we're moving towards summer. And for those on this side, our viewership of Flosstube, YouTube, all of that stuff goes down because we're like out, we're living it. We're like hiking and gardening and traveling and camping, where the viewership on the other side might go up a little bit because you're hunkering down with your stitches. Yeah. So it'll be nice to hear from some of you that are doing that. This last week, I guess I was boring myself, basically. And I thought I needed to watch somebody that was instilled something in me that brought the excitement up, and that was a new floss tuber. Because there's nothing like a new floss tuber that's excited and you haven't seen their stuff. It's kind of like a new series, a new television series. You get tired of watching the same reruns, and even though I like my reruns, it's kind of fun to have something spice it up. And so, lucky for me, up in the side of the floss tube, when I bring up YouTube, because I watch RV YouTube also, I can see some new faces that I haven't seen. And when you choose to watch a floss tuber, if you like them, please take that moment to subscribe. That that way that channel will pop back up. And so that's what I did. I subscribed to two new Flosstubers. The first one was Periwinkle Stitcher from Wales. I know. It was her first floss tube. She is charming, and you know what she stitches on is beautiful, and she's loves everything stitching. She wants to just stay at home and stitch. She's absolutely a lovely person to listen to, and so I would venture to say, give her a watch, and if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Yeah, then it'll show up again. The next one that I watched, now so here we're going Wales, and now we're on this side of the pond, and she's a beekeeper. I know. I mean, yeah. Everything was exciting. And that is Beck Stitches Everything. Stitches everything. But like me, she loves the artsy housewife. Oh, I know. That latest pattern, the beach rat, in love. Lady Robiness, she's in love with it too. I think we need to somehow, next time I go to the beach, that should be a beach start. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, I love everything that the artsy housewife designs. Yeah, she needs to come to Acorns and Threads. Yeah, she needs to come to Acorns and Threads. But Beck Stitches Everything. So if you like that floss tube, please subscribe. I know I'm enjoying it immensely. This last week has been kind of, you know, our weather is, we can't decide if we're summer or spring. It rains every other day, basically. Everything's blooming fabulously, though. We got our air vents blown out. If you've never had that done, it's quite an interesting process. So, this house is about 24 years old, and when G and I moved in about 4 years ago, we both have asthma. This place is filled with allergens. Just, I mean, that's what makes it so beautiful. And I thought maybe I should have the ventilation system. The guys that came, two young guys, I swear one of them reminded me so much of my oldest step-grandson that I was like, wow. And you know, they're doing their job. They are doing their job. And he says, did you make all these quilts? And I said, yeah. And he's like, my grandma quilted. And I was like, oh, yeah. I feel it. I feel it. Thank you for cleaning out my ventilation system. Yeah. So we had that. That was because that's what happens in the spring. You start checking off the list of what needs to get done and what you know. We had to put a gate up to block Penny from view of the street. That was a homeowner's thing. And I was kind of crabby about the homeowners, but my homeowners, oh my gosh, they got a grant to clean up the watersheds. We live at the top of a mountain, and so there are these I guess you call them watersheds. There are these valleys that go down the mountain that are overgrown with trees and bushes, and you know, it's like it kind of goes down the mountain in between the houses. You know, it just goes down. Well, the homeowners here got a grant to hire a goat herder. I know, a goat herder who would pull up with his trailer of goats, and he put out a temporary fence to make sure they didn't get loose onto the street, but went down the watershed areas and let them chow down. It was so much fun. I had to stop and talk to the goat herder. He was so interesting. They make soap. They're milking goats, so they make soap, they make cheese, and they eat watersheds. And so they've done one section, so they're moving on, they move them around. And what a wonderful way to not use pesticides, or just willy-nilly cut down what maybe shouldn't be cut down. But this guy herds his goats, and it was fun to watch. It was so fun. I made friends with a couple of them. Yeah. And so now I'm kind of in love with my HOA because they think outside the box, I think. They're thinking outside the box, yeah. But it was really fun to watch. Really fun to watch. Yeah. I finished, my latest book that I finished was Finding Freedom, and that was an interesting autobiography by Erin French. Now, I didn't know who Erin French was, but apparently she is a well-known chef. Yeah, all kinds of cooking, been on cooking shows, restaurants, the Michelin thing. And this is an autobiography of her life from childhood transitioning to her success. And it was eye-opening in the way that you think you know someone. You make assumptions or judgments about people based on a very surface knowledge. But there's a deeper story, and this deeper story was quite amazing and significant. And I enjoyed the read. There were times I was going, oh my gosh. But what it did for me was saying, wow, you just never know. You never know the path someone is walking. And so choose kindness. I would say choose kindness. Yeah. So, okay, tomorrow is Saturday stitching at Acorns and Threads. From now on till Labor Day, I think it is, starting Memorial Day, every Saturday is Open Stitch Day at Acorns and Threads. And sometimes if there's a class going on in the classroom, they set up tables out on the porch. It's a covered porch. And it's just a way to kind of get together and spend some time with people who are passionate about the same things you are passionate about, to laugh, just to spend time with friends. So I'm looking forward to that. The other thing that happened this week, okay, you guys are you're going to be blown away by this. Dateline 2020, they need to be listening to this Flosstube, because there's a whole different way. The police department needs to be, there's a whole different way to track activity. So this week, my garbage didn't get picked up. The can was only half full, but I thought, why didn't the garbage get picked up? I have it set up on an automatic payment, so I know it wasn't because I didn't pay the bill or something. But does my garbage man, is he angry at me about something, or what's going on? So I called the garbage man. I didn't call the garbage man, actually. And I don't think they call him garbage man anymore, because maybe it's trash. I don't know what they call them now. You get to a certain age and you're going to stick your foot in your mouth. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. That truck, that garbage truck that your kids, when they were little, ran to the window to watch. I called the company up and I said, I didn't get, my trash didn't get picked up. Oh, really? And so she says, well, hold on a minute. Let me just look at if there's any notes or anything. And then she says, she describes the front of my house. And she said, when did you put your can out? And I said, the night before. And she says, okay. And when she described the front of my house, I said, how do you know that? And she says, oh, all the trucks, all the garbage trucks have cameras. And so that pickup guy doesn't get to get away with anything. I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding? And so we started laughing on the phone, and I said, oh my gosh, you can't get away with it. Even the garbage man can't get away with anything. And she says, yeah, it looks like your neighbor's can got picked up, and it looks like he just missed it. And I said, well, I just wanted to know that he wasn't picking my garbage up because of some beef we were having. Like he was dissing me or something. But no, it looked like he just, and it's all on video. I'm telling you, the police department says if they need to catch a criminal or one of those porch pirates, look at the garbage truck camera, because she could tell exactly what he was doing. Can you believe it? This world, I don't know. This world is like, oh my gosh. I'm kind of glad I'm the age I am. I don't know if I could take much more of this. But now I'm going to be careful if I go outside and the garbage truck's going by. You know, you have to be careful on garbage day. They're recording you driving by, walking by. Don't be picking your nose while you're walking down the street past. They probably sit there on Friday night and watch those videos with a beer and snacks. Oh, the thought just boggles. It just boggles me. All the times that I drove by, I hope, yeah, oh my. Yeah, be careful. The garbage man's watching. Okay, well, I think that's it. I think I've told you about my week. So I hope you have a good weekend, good Memorial Day weekend if you're here in the United States, and that you have safe travels on this 3-day weekend. And I hope your weather's getting better wherever you live, and check out those new Flosstubers I mentioned, and be sure to like and subscribe. That's an awful nice thing to do. Yeah, you take care. Love you guys.